She takes her job very seriously, she says.
That's awesome.
I'm not getting paid for this though.
I'm sure you are one way or another.
Oh yeah, she still wants a trophy. We'll be starting in 20 seconds. Get ready, racers. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, everyone, with a good start. Shay, a little bit late, having to go over the red pillar as expected. Osasha is pitching down very aggressively, but we see, who's that? We have Creative Camper driving a long way, and we see in the background there then, that's Alec. No, in the background of the camera there, that's Alec taking a good lead. And again, different tactics straight off the ramps there. Currently in the lead is Alec. Pretty good jump off there. We see Creative Camper doing a great job fliving his way. Obviously late to the fliving party and learning all the tactics. And then followed by, I think that's Shay in the background. So let's just see how this develops and how close people stay together. Racing from the pitch black. Look at all these headlights. There is a lot of it. We'll be using night vision for most of the race. Let's check in with the other racers here.
Oh, it's so cool seeing the ship fly by.
Okay, so tracker is frozen.
I've been in the IT department on that.
Currently watching.
I'm afraid it's shut. It's the weekend.
Yeah. I think it looks like we have Commander Osasha with a lead at this point. From my point of view, he's about 100 meters ahead of the pack. You know what sucks as well? I didn't even get to start the race. I pressed play, but it never registered, so there's nothing to restart either. We definitely have Commander Osasha in the lead here. I think in the background we see Shay and someone else close together. They're about 200 meters behind. Let's check this out from a wide-angle view here. So we see everybody still snuggled together in the instance, which is great. Oh, we have someone very close behind Osasha. That's Alec. I think we have Alec close to Osasha there. They'll both be concentrating on getting their landings right. This planet is icy, so it's pretty slippery. Bouncing with the right pitch angle is important. And as usual, obviously missing rocks is just as important. We see Osasha with a bit of a twitch there as he clipped with the terrain in some offset angle. He kept his momentum pretty well, but we'll have to see what that does for his hull. This is another one of those races where it's a balance, a fine balance between being able to complete it with no pit stops versus hopefully a single pit stop. And if you're going to make a pit stop, as we see a ship coming in the background, so someone making a first pit stop. If you're going to make the pit stop in this race, let it be somewhere around the halfway mark, right?
Before the canyon or after?
That's a good point. The canyon usually, either you can leap it completely, which is it's a great way to go about it, but then it means the speed will be great, and the first bounce after or mid-canyon is going to be a tough one to try and predict the landing. So Osasha's then, looks like he's currently being overtaken by a single racer and another racer very close behind. Let's fly up to them and see, maybe based on their liveries, if we can spot who they are.
Well, I just went past Alec.
So there we have then this. Look at the pink. We've got Alec Turner then just overtaking Osasha. It's amazing to see how everyone is staying together pretty tightly. We're talking before the race as well that there's a couple of different ways to go about this race, either straight for the nav marker or trying to arch it left or right a little bit to find some more preferred terrain.
It's straight off now some gnarly terrain.
So in front of Alec we see 2 racers. I think that Osash is still on his right flank.
I'll do the other one. That's Crank. I overtook Alec a couple of minutes ago.
Okay then.
Yeah, that's you looking at me now.
Beautiful. So we have Crank Larson then, I think in a second place. Pretty far off to his left, we see another racer in the background. Actually, I'm going to say that's Crank in the lead.
I'm driving through the ground.
Oh, you've
Oh,
got
boy.
the same shit I do.
Yeah, so with Elite Dangerous, sometimes the terrain doesn't load fast enough and you're stuck with a lower LOD for the terrain and it doesn't line up with what actually hits you with the physics, and that can be a struggle. Reloading fixes it, but who wants to do that during a race? Better to just try and roll with it, and after you pass the chunk of terrain, it will fix itself. Usually.
If it passes the chunk. I had another instance of that yesterday where I went about 30 kilometers with
Oh,
that.
at least.
At least 30 kilometers. I think it's more like 40 or 50.
So we're currently watching Crank Larson, and on his left flank, pretty much on the same line, is another racer. I'm gonna say that's probably Shay. So again, these guys are staying pretty close together in a sense of distance away from the settlement and finish line, but taking different lines as they reach the canyon.
It could be Donald Anderson.
Up your range.
50 kilometers.
10-4. 47-9.
Yeah, the problem
So I'm
with
looking-
mismatching terrain is it's easy to blow up.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
I'm looking
I
at
just
some
had a really
red
bad hit.
red markers on the background here. I think this is Commander Anderson, Donald Anderson, with a bit of a bad crash then as he lands himself into the canyon, coming to a dead stop, and will need probably some repairs.
Yeah, I've needed a pit for a while. I've been trying to stop for a bit.
Well, this is the good moment to do it then, reaching the crater and going for the Alec Turner with 8%, and again this looks like a race where people will be making that pit stop, as a single run with everybody around you never goes to plan.
Hopefully my ship can find me in my self-made cave.
Okay, yesterday my ship actually landed halfway in the ground. You couldn't even see the landing gear.
Was our pitting.
As soon as I stop, I want to pit as well.
Who am I close to, if you can?
That's me, Crank.
So Crank Larson also looking for a pit stop then as he reaches the canyony bit.
Hep is also pitting.
Hep, are you sitting on your back?
Pitting still on.
See
Have
someone
to
in the
recall
background
them.
there, let's check into who they are.
Did the tracker restart again?
I couldn't restart it because when I pressed play and I thought it worked, it was already frozen, so it never started. So there's nothing to restart, so I can't get everyone back in the list.
You could potentially manually add them.
I could, but that means I'll be stationary for so long that I'll probably lose
Yeah,
everyone
yeah.
from the instance. I was considering running it from my girlfriend's computer this time, but no, there's nothing you can do. Who am I following? That's Osashus. So Osashus then, not having made a pit stop yet, currently in the middle of the crater bit, and as we can see, it's definitely a lead down on the way to Barreros. So a potential extension of his lead then for Osashus as everyone is making pit stops, and he's still pushing on. We haven't seen Shay. We don't know where he is. If anybody sees him type his finish in the chat, please let me know as soon as possible so we can write down his time. In case that he is currently taking the lead. We don't know. Osash is looking very slow there. Are you making a stop?
Yeah, I go for a pit.
So we have Osashis as well then going for a stop. Quick pan around him. See if we can spot any of the racers. At this point though, people are extending distances over each other, and thus we might lose them from the instance, so it's hard to really see.
Run ship.
Stick to the plan, man. That was you, Sash.
So we see, yeah, we've lost Alec from the instance, and he is floating up into space, unfortunately. Shay is. Let's have a look. Roger, yeah, Shay is underground, so he's off the instance. I'm gonna stick with Osash's here, and we'll see what everyone else says. Kilometer-wise, and base finishes of that. So with all the difficulties, of course, with instancing and dust, this is a gentleman's game, right? We need to depend on each other's fairness, and it does when you finish. Make sure you call out your finish by the time you are stationary, not when you finish the cross the finish line.
Okay, I can already see that this floating rock thing is not going to stop anytime soon. I'm going to the main menu, come right back in. I'm going to risk it.
Sounds like a good idea, Hep, who doesn't finish any race.
Yes! You are correct, sir.
I've usually pushed through because it does go away after a while, at least for me.
A fluffy pillow, you know, for good bounces.
Currently watching then Commander Osachis, who just finished his pit stop, and we can actually see on the horizon the very tips of the big buildings of Barreros. How about you, Osachis?
1. But going slow, speed 31.
And Alex?
36.8.
So Osachis and Alex still very close together.
28.5 at the moment.
28, so Crank Larson. I feel like a second place for Crank. I do think Shay is currently in the lead. Having lost
well,
the instance.
That's assuming I make it.
I would put money on that, yes. Even.
It's nicer to race whenever the ground matches.
It does help.
Let me know when you're back in, Heapster.
I am back in.
Terror, how you doing?
Fucking horrible.
KM remaining?
40 kilometers.
Haggard?
37.
Excellent.
I've got 39.
So because Terrasitic is from Australia, we had him start on the other side of the planet to help him out a little bit.
I think I'd probably be going better if I did.
Have you tried racing upside down?
I like to send Terror upside down smileys.
Is he in the show Stranger Things in the upside down?
Yeah.
Take a picture of flushing my toilet, and then I flip it around backwards, and then I send it to him.
Hell yeah.
Where is the ground?
Above you.
Close your eyes and let gravity do its thing.
I have a horrible feeling I might have gone too far left in towards the craters, but we'll find out in a minute.
Is that your first pit, Haggard? Awesome. So Crank Larson then currently looks like in second place. I don't think you can make too many mistakes with the routes here.
Oh, don't say that. Oh, too many. Don't make too many mistakes. Then, as soon as someone says that,
I will mention that in the last race we had both Alec Turner and Crank Larson hitting a crater. No, excuse me. That was Osashis and Alec hitting a crater at exactly the same time and blowing up as they reached pretty much the base of it. So yeah, craters are to be avoided as much as possible.
Terrible.
No!
Didn't you just pit?
Yeah.
Was it?
Terror Scenic was taking the scenic route.
Looks like. So Terror, how much hold did you have when you blew up and what happened?
44%. I was going downhill somewhat, but I exploded in clear sky.
Range 28.4, 66% hull.
28.2, 22% fall.
16.
oh, who was 16? Oh, I'm 14.9.
So Osage is at 16.
All right, so we have Commander Osash is currently on 16. We have Crank on 14, so it'll be close to see what they are doing. Has anybody seen a finish message from Shay or have any idea where he is?
I have not seen a message yet, no. And I have been keeping an eye out.
Thank you very much. Oh, I'm seeing a headlight there in the background. I'm going to say that's Crank Larson. Looks about 2 kilometers ahead of Osash. Check in with him. Again, reminder for the racers, you do not finish until you are stationary within the settlement boundaries. So great to see everybody taking different routes, but obviously meeting back up at the railroad.
Pep is pitting again. 16% fall.
Damn! Is that you, Crank?
Maybe. What was that?
Are you
Oh, I
seeing
think
me
I'd
in front
see-
of you?
Yeah.
All officers are going to be pitting.
Oh, this is gonna be tight, Crank.
Yeah, we're seeing Crank Larson then with right behind him on his, let's say, 4 o'clock. Osash is about 1.5 or 2 kilometers behind.
Oh, bollocks. I'm
coming
starting
up
to
together
slow down.
there.
You mean I'm not allowed to start to slow down? Oh,
That's
crap.
up to you. Again then, to finish, you need to cross the settlement border and bring yourself to a stationary position. So stopping
Yeah, I'm
completely
in
without
trouble
going
because
down.
that took me down to 6%.
Crank Larson then with 6% as he is getting close to the settlement.
That's not good.
I lost Crank. I don't know where he's at.
I'm with him.
Oh, dang
Currently
it.
watching Crank Larson still getting very close now to the settlement with about 6% hull remaining.
3%.
And for Sash is about 3% hull remaining for Crank. Let's see if we can find Osash's.
I'm praying for Osasha, but I hope you don't die, Crank.
We've got Osash's in view as well. Crank Larson currently.
Where do I need to be? Because I'm
Just keep going, keep going. Keep going towards the
1 kilometre
settlement.
away.
Just past any man-made structure. Keep going. You're not there yet. You're not there yet. You
Just
may
the
now go
lamppost down.
stationary. You can go stationary now. That is a finish. So we have
Oh,
a
no.
first place finish for Crank Larson
You are
with the time
first.
of 19 minutes and 4 seconds. We have Commander Osash is coming in for a second place finish. as you heard, Shea Blackwood had a DNF, surprising with so much practice under his belt. Osash is crossing the finish line now, so a stationary from now would...
We'll get stopped here if I can without exploding.
Oops.
Sir Balthazar is 22.8.
Okay. Sasha's finished.
Osash is then finished. 1940, so that's what, 35 seconds over Crank? Abby is typing in all the times right now to get the differences between everybody as well. So currently not spectating anybody. Maybe you guys want to just shout out your KM remaining.
Balthazar 21.8.
23.8 per head.
1.7.
So Alec 9k out. I'm going to jump in and out. See how this goes.
I'm 32. Alec then.
I can't see you. You're with the stars.
Can you see a giant anaconda?
I'm just seeing stars now. That was an incredibly spectacular first and second place finish. We will look at what this means for the points as soon as we get everybody finishing.
It doesn't mean a lot for me. I need far more than that.
Well, okay. If you've done the math, I don't know how far you are behind.
Yes, I think I did the math and said, yeah, it makes no difference to me. I think the top I'd be able to get, if everything went according to plan, would be 4th, 5th, maybe? I don't think it was, it certainly wasn't.
I'd like to finish so I can be last.
Damn good race though, Craig. I was sweating trying to catch you at the end, and you finished on 3%. That's impressive.
But the thing is, yes, because I started to slow down then, and then I heard all you behind me, so I thought I'll push a bit more. Had a bad hit, and then thought, no, damn it, I'm gonna have to slow down because otherwise, and yes, I just managed it.
I think I'm still last, and I am 10 kilometers right now per head.
I'm stuck in. Alec, keep us updated when you can.
15.6. Correction, 16.6. How did you get ahead of me so fast, Ted?
What you do is you floor it. I hope this helps. Please stay tuned for my next TED Talk.
When is the second lap, whatever run, second part gonna start? You reckon?
After the top people drink a lot of beer.
Alec then with a finish. 22:24. The total time.
I feel you were taking it easy,
shit.
Alex. I overtook you at one point, and I expected to have you overtake me again shortly later, which didn't happen.
I didn't do that.
Excellent, right. Whereas I have none of that, obviously, because it makes no difference. So yeah.
So with a first, second, and third place finish, now we have Frank Larson in first place with a total time of 19 minutes and 4 seconds. In second, we have Osashis, just 36 seconds on top of that. Very close finish. And then we have Alec Turner in third place with 3 minutes and 20 seconds over the time of Frank Larson. Let's do some more KM remaining.
12.3, Balthazar.
Alright. So, I had a tough time. I have 23 kilometers left.
Oh, okay, don't feel as bad. I
Yeah.
misread before. It was 18, not 10. I'm actually 13 and a half
God, I need to slow down.
per head.
I think that's happening in the lead for a fourth place finish. Maybe my words of encouragement
I'm at
have
10.4.
helped. The currently DNF then is Terracitic and Shea Blackwood. I don't think we have any other.
Oh, Blackmaze, can you share the route for going back on Discord, and I'll see if I can work out. I'll run the test while we're waiting. See if I can get it.
Yes, sir.
Participants loaded.
I'm currently trying to get back into the game as well for anybody watching the stream and for the racers wondering and not having any luck. So I will continue to do that. And if you finish, just give a shout out when you do.
You mean to go back into open Black Maze?
I did not go into open. No. Should I
Oh,
try?
I thought I saw that on the stream. Sorry.
No. And
7K
Crank
out.
Larson, do you want the ED route or the ED race?
Either race. That's a race.